Bomb, we got some great stories that will definitely impress your friends if you remember a few key facts. You spit that knowledge to them and they might just respect you for who you are. Anthropic Mythos preview has uncovered high severity vulnerabilities across all major operating systems. Bieber's at Coachella. AWS AI revenue hits $15 billion run rate, and they're looking for more money for more demand in AI infrastructure. And Amazon's former CEO, Jeff Bezos, is building a rival AI lab that is also focusing directly on the physical world of artificial intelligence. And there is a meeting in Beijing in May that companies will be watching to see if they can trade with people and make money after the U.S. Supreme Court killed part of Trump's tariffs. This is Ricker. This is Bond. Is Bond still alive? You'll have to find out after we listen to Justin Bieber. Scratch on need that.
Sweet romance,
Hey, hey.
how you do me like that? It's all to take. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Uh, how you do me like that? Do me like that? Yeah. How you doing your dance? Do it fashion.
Justin.
I've been waiting. I've been patient. I've been waiting too long. It's been too long. Too long, babe. Too long. It's been too long, baby. It's been too long.
It means.
It's been too long. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This man pulled a laptop in the desert that you'd have to pay me for to go to TBH, except for Yum was kind of lit, low key, but they don't stream it. Pulled up with a laptop and started watching memes for at least 10 minutes of his set, which is crazy. He does the talking. Things with concerts is a lot of talking between DJ set. DJ's DJ. You might get some, put your hands up. That was a European saying that. But it's none of these start and stop joints. When you say, oh, what a lovely faces, lovely faces. But I guess you do have a person singing the whole time. So I kind of get it. Ricker and Bond in the daylight, not at night. Just Ricker. Texted Bond yesterday a meme of Shimza and Afrojack, which is a white man and a black man. And they were hugging. And whenever there's a white man and a black man together in a photo or a video, you take a screenshot and you say, New Ricker and Bond. It's a funny meme joke. And sent that to him last night. He responded pretty late, I believe, too. Let me see the direct time was 9:29 p.m. And this morning texts are going green, and you know we're iPhone over here. And got him on Find My, got him on Find My, and he's closer to me than he should be usually. And a little phone up, so maybe he's going crazy, crazy, brazy, brazy. Take a shot of Henny, and we'll get a Bond Jet update next week, I suppose. We had some good juicy stuff at the beginning. Coachella. Can't really talk about Coachella now, but main thing was Bieber. Brought out McGee. Brought out Dijon. Pretty sick. I jested at Bieber too, two musically inclined friends. Oh, bring out McGee, coward, is what I texted. He did it. Ended Coachella day fucking freaking two. McGee did. Freaking blaring the strings and their fireworks. Another thing I wanted to do was that their YouTube content was kind of going nice. Little YouTube clips catching wind. I'll have to bring this up again if Bond and Jen is indeed alive next episode, but accidentally race baited. Sorry about that. We were talking about whiteface and blackface, but someone didn't like me saying whiteface. But I was talking specifically about your Snoop Dogg and your Chappelle whitefaces. And I won't, I won't, I won't read it now because it's more fun if Bon Jen's here. But we were called goofballs for talking about blackface and saying whiteface. And then I got some nice traction on a meta clip. So a nice little YouTube stuff going on. Uh, YouTube, Ricker and Bond, subscribe. If you're listening to this, you can see the video. If you're not eating lunch and dinner or transiting to your European workplace, you can watch Ricker and Bond. We got 6 hot stories for you, spanning tech, spanning business, spanning pop culture. Starting off with Anthropic. Anthropic's Mythos AI finds 0 days in every major OS, and the hacking arm race has just changed. What is a 0-day vulnerability, you may ask? It's a vulnerability that the devs are unaware of. And Anthropic's Mythos preview autonomously identified high severity 0-day vulnerabilities across all major operating systems and browsers. Enterprise security teams are now competing against a model that runs continuous attack surface analysis at near zero marginal cost. Cybersecurity budgets, insurance premiums, and the defensive tooling stack are all mispriced for this threat environment, if you know what I mean. Anthropic this week revealed that its latest model, Mythos Preview, is capable of autonomously identifying high severity security vulnerabilities, including 0 days found in every major operating system and web browser. The offensive defensive asymmetry in cybersecurity just got a lot worse. Sorry, I'm reading again from scripts. Attackers with access to frontier models can now run continuous low-cost vulnerability scan at a scale that no human security team can match. Meanwhile, enterprise security budgets are still calibrated for the old threat model. The downstream implications are enormous. Cyber insurance premiums, so says AI, will spike. Governments fast track AI export controls. I kind of got to rein in this script a little bit again. I got 2 users, and again, I might just be yapping about this because it's a solo pod, but 2 users, actually, I don't want to say that, but scripts, you know. Um, so Anthropic has a new model, freaking finds everything, and now freaking software before was doing horrible in the stock market. Now security stocks might be freaking plummeting. Um, but, but very interesting nonetheless. Um, another stock market plummet might come at you fast and hard with I mean this Iran update was made before another Iran update. uh and let's see, the Strait of Hormuz has been closed for 5 weeks. It's roughly 20% of global oil supply remaining blocked. Equity markets are at near highs, while oil is also spiking, which usually you don't see. If you see oil high, you probably see equity markets lower. Um, Trump had a Tuesday, it's a little behind. Uh, eh, Trump set a deadline for a freaking day in in April. It didn't happen. And now he freaking tweeted from his own company's social media platform that he's trying to PE show that now the US is blocking ships in the Strait of Hormuz like Iran was. So now there's just two people trying to freaking chokehold cats. Crazy. Um, April 12th, yeah. AWS. Well, okay. Yeah, that's Iran. Freaking, there's a new Iran headline every freaking 2 days. It goes faster than AI headlines. Um, and the market's open yet? No, it's still early days, Sunday. Um, Strong March economic data, backwardated oil curve. Um, these were all things that were said last time, but Amazon hiking fuel and logistics a bit for third-party sellers, airlines hiking checked baggage fees. Oil's still expensive, and basically everywhere in the world uses oil, so everything gets a little higher, and that probably puts a little strain on um, the equity market usually, but at least consumer people. Um, Higher echelon income people, not as painful as lower income people. K-shaped economy, if you will. You know, put that in your freaking. You say that to your friends, dude. You're freaking. You'll get there up there in the what do you call it? The social structure there. Yeah, they're gonna like that, dude. If you say that during a job interview, you're gonna be impressed. That freaking 65-year-old cat. Um, yeah, I'll get more into that during next week when there's a little bit more stuff. Um, AWS, Amazon Web Services, for those that aren't in the know, AWS AI revenue hits $15 billion run rate and is committing $200 billion capex, says demand is outpacing supply. AWS AI services crossed a 15 billion annualized run rate in Q1 2026, roughly 10% of total AWS revenue. Amazon has committed $200 billion in 2026 to capital expenditures, most of it directed at AI infrastructure, with CEO Andy Jassy noting that AWS would be growing faster if not for capacity constraints. Again, going back to a theme I've touched upon that everybody's consensus upon, which is why it's hit my eyes because I read at the very top what consensus reads. Infrastructure is a bit of a story with this AI tech mid 2020s story narrative, things being played out in the United States and elsewhere. Most of this AWS AI capital expenditures already carry customer commitments with monetization expected in 2027 and 2028. Mr. Jassy disclosed in his April shareholder letter, might want to read that, I say to myself, that AWS AI services have crossed $15 billion annualized revenue run rate. This is the first time Amazon has broken out that figure publicly. For context, it's roughly 10% of AWS's 142 billion run rate and it's growing rapidly. This disclosure is significant. Let me tell you why. It's the clearest data point yet that enterprise AI spending has moved from pilot budgets to production scale contracts. Capital expenditure commitment is equally as striking. Amazon has pledged $200 billion, the majority of which is being directed at infrastructure, which is data centers, custom silicon, and energy capacity. Jassy pushed back on investor concerns about ROI timing, saying, yeah, Amazon didn't make any money for like 40 years and now we're sick as hell, dude. Relax. That's not what he said. He said, noting that much of the spend already has customer commitments attached and is expected to generate revenue in 27, 28. The custom chip business as another layer. Amazon's Gravitron, Trainium, and Nitro Silicon lines have crossed a $20 billion annualized run rate, double the figure from earlier this year. This matters because Amazon is building a vertically integrated AI infrastructure where it controls the chip, the cloud layer, and the model. That is actually quite something. Uh, Stack is structurally more defensible than any single layer competitor for hyperscaler investors, hyperscale like Microsoft, Google, Apple. The AWS revenue disclosure sets a new benchmark that both Microsoft and Google will now be expected to match in their own quarterly reporting. Alongside another Amazon alum, Jeff Bezos. Mr. Bezos has built a rival AI lab entitled Project Prometheus, targeting the physical world with a $6.2 billion lump sum of cash and poaches from both OpenAI and xAI. This stealth AI startup has hired Kyle Kosich, xAI co-founder. Holy moly. And well, I guess you can co-found with a cohort of people, but geez. So Jeff Bezos' stealth AI startup has hired the xAI co-founder and a former OpenAI infrastructure lead scale its compute architecture rather. The lab is backed by $6.2 billion, recruiting aggressively from OpenAI, DeepMind, Meta, and xAI, and is building AI systems explicitly targeting engineering, manufacturing, aerospace, and the physical world rather than consumer software. This is a venture led alongside former Google executive Vikram Bajaj, hired Kosich co-founded xAI, built the infrastructure of Musk's Colossus supercomputer. At the time, it was the world's largest GPU cluster. The Colossus supercomputer was. And Mr. Kosich held senior roles at OpenAI across two separate tenures. Hiring him signals that Prometheus is not building a chat product. It's building the compute. Okay, I'm not going to even say that. You know, hiring from a pool that is uh, doing industrial infrastructure more than just software. Uh, Deliberate and distinct from that of OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google, Prometheus is targeting things that you can knock your fist upon: aerospace, manufacturing, etc., sectors where proprietary operational data is the moat. Apparently, playbook is to stake or partner with companies across those industries, extract the training data that comes with the real world operational access, and build models that cannot be replicated by a lab that only trains on internet text. With $6.2 billion in reported backing and recruiting operations spanning San Francisco, London, and Zurich, Prometheus is large enough to be taken seriously and specific enough to be differentiated. For investors, the physical world AI category, largely ignored during the consumer AI boom, which is freaking only 2 years, is now well capitalized and staffed with frontier talent. I'm curious where $6.2 billion comes from for Prometheus, and I will briefly not check that. Yes, I will. $6.2 billion Prometheus, Bezos, backers, who give me that AI-ish Google. Um, Co-founded by, again, Bezos and Vic Bajaj. Key backers are Mr. Bezos, primary investor, Bajaj, former Google X researcher, ARCH Venture Partners, led by Robert Nelson, director at Project Prometheus, General Agents, an agentic AI startup This might just be personnel, but General Agents is an agentic AI startup acquired by Project Prometheus in November 2025, bringing its CEO Shergil Ojair and key researchers. Again, still personnel, former Amazon executive, current leader of Blue Origin, appointed to the Prometheus board of directors. Everybody wants to get a board seat. Um, over 120 employees from AI firms have been poached. Bezos is separately seeking to raise a $100 billion fund to acquire and modernize manufacturing firms in conjunction with Project. That's sick, dude. In a cool way, not in a pejorative way. You're freaking PE playbooking, grabbing some old crotchety physical infrastructure, physical infrastructure companies, and then making them all AI skis. Woo! Ew. And then I'm gonna wrap it up with update on trade tariffs. Supreme Court killed Trump's tariffs, and now a U.S. China summit in May might be the only game in town. The Supreme Court invalidated Trump's IEEPA tariff authority. Everybody knows what that acronym means. We don't have to say what it is out loud. Um, but whatever they shot down, there was still like other fine print that you could do tariffs in. Um, the U.S. goods deficit with China was $13.1 billion in February, and now a Beijing leaders summit is the primary mechanism for trade stabilization, and China enters the ring with stronger leverage than at any point in 2025. For multinationals managing supply chain exposure, the summit outcome is a genuine binary, some might say. Direct U.S. China goods trade continued to shrink, with the U.S. goods deficit with China sitting just above $13 billion in February of 2026. A planned leader summit in Beijing is now the most important trade event of the year. Both sides, China and the U.S., are expected to explore ways to stabilize relations, but China got a lot of leverage, partly because SCOTUS undercut Trump's unilateral tariff authority, and partly because a new Section 301 investigation just kicked off, targeting China, Mexico, and the European Union simultaneously. So that has a lot of import with large companies that are doing business across multiple countries, companies that reshored or nearshored, which is bringing operations back to headquarters. Uh, Companies that reshored or nearshored supply chains during 2024 and 2025 are watching to see if the summit delivers a framework worth betting their top daily dollar on, to see if they can do things with other countries, get some plastic over there from Taiwan or something. Um, so keep that in your freaking head. That's it. Rick and Bond give you a few good stuff to start thinking about as you start your diddly week. Back next week with an update to see if Bon Jen is still alive. This is Ricky from Rick and Bond telling you to stay rocking the free world and do 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 do.